Guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Doing another video today. This time we're going to be looking at the Art of Appleseed. This is a comic series by the same guy who did the Ghost in the Shell comics, and I believe he actually directed the Ghost in the Shell movie as well. I'm going to butcher his name, I apologize. Masamune Shiro? Yeah, something like that. Not exactly sure how to pronounce his name. I'm really bad at pronouncing these Japanese names, so please forgive me. I'm not completely familiar with the series of Appleseed either, but I do love the art. And since this is a comic book channel, I kind of wanted to show some of the comic stuff it is that I've come across, some of the stuff that I'm looking at for inspiration. This whole channel was inspired by a channel called by Richard Friend, and I would suggest checking out his stuff as well because he does like a lot of covers of different comic artists and whatnot. So I'm really going through and looking at artists that are inspiring me and just wanted to share them with people it is that I know. But this guy is really good. So we're going to flip through some of this stuff real quick. I'm going to try to keep it under 10 minutes or so. Try to make these episodes a little bit quicker. But I love the way it is that he does his framing of his shots, the way it is that he shows this line of action of, we have the characters reaction over here. We see him pulling out the gun, and we see this kind of like him pulling for it, and then we see him firing. We see a reaction of the guy getting hit. We see more reaction shots down here. I mean, one of the things that really makes his art stand out is like these halftone, these gray tones that he's using that really show depth and really show like the churning of the form. It's not completely black and white. Let's go ahead and go through some of these other ones. Yeah, some of these are sequentially connected to the previous one. Some of them are just going to be random. Is he pulling this dude's tooth out or something? Yeah, it looks like something like that. I like these little one-piece things that he does. I guess this is maybe like on the back of one of the comics, or maybe it was like on cover of one of the DVDs. I know they turned it into an anime series as well. But yeah, this guy's been, I guess, supposedly very successful. I only really know him by the Ghost in the Shell stuff. Oh my god, look at this. But I want to dig into Appleseed a little bit. I love this. This is so cool. You have this, he does a really good job of drawing vehicles in motion. A lot of the times, I was actually watching a video Richard Friend did on this guy's art earlier, and that's what inspired this, was that when you look at somebody like this, sometimes you can tell that they're using a 3D model to draw these vehicles, but this guy definitely is not doing that. That's a cool, I feel like this might be something from, Ghost in the Shell, maybe. And it feels very connected to it. Another just great 2-page layout. I mean, just the way he pushes these characters forward, and then he has the panels behind them. I think that's really cool. I think that's a really good technique to use. He's using these halftones in here to really show depth, and he's able to communicate a lot with that. Like this, I guess this spaceship's landing or taking off. I'm assuming it's taking off. Yeah, looks like it's taking off. Very, very cool. I love the design of the robots too. Like he does a phenomenal job of designing these different characters. So even from that's one of the things too about doing comic art Oh man, I guess this is one of, I don't know if he colored this or not. The colors are super vibrant. I love how super vibrant these colors are because it doesn't feel like the typical cyberpunk aesthetic it is that you get. Let's go to the next one. Yeah, this is really dope. I mean, the robot itself has kind of like a rabbit kind of look to it, but like I was saying, you know, a big part of comics that you see a lot of us beginner comic book artists do, or people that don't have a lot of books out, is that the design isn't always there. But with these guys, these guys are pros. You know, like they have. This is an example of that. They have just such a crazy amount of design going into their work, and you can tell that what he's doing is he's looking at designs of animals, like obviously like rabbits, and he's looking at designs of insects, and he's allowing that to inspire him as far as his designs go. And of course, he has beautiful shape language that helps communicate that. And I mean, stuff like this is just killer. This is awesome. You know, I'm pulling these from Yandex, so if some of these are not his work, then I apologize. This does look like his work, though. Yeah, he's got a bunch of really cool stuff like this. Like I said, I love the designs. Like you can tell that this is the same guy who designed the robots and the characters in Ghost in the Shell. And I would actually be interested in knowing how Ghost in the Shell and Appleseed are different. So if you're a fan of Appleseed, please tell me how they're, like, if they're in the same universe or what. But yeah, like this guy just goes for it with the detail. We got a couple more. Oh, we got one more. I guess this is actually, this one right here is actually Ghost in the Shell right here, I believe. And yeah, he just does an awesome job. I mean, this feels like a Blade Runner-esque. Um, this feels like a Blade Runner-esque piece, which I would say that if you're into Blade Runner, if you're into this sort of aesthetic, I would recommend checking out my Blade Runner analysis series. It's on this channel. I'll put it in the cards above. Um, I'm planning on doing more in-depth analysis on comics as well and breaking them down because I want to see how these things are connected. But yeah, I mean, like this guy's got some beautiful art. And let's see, do I have any others? I've got stuff like this. Yeah, we'll go ahead and make the next one after this the last one. Yeah, his design of his robots, they look so unique because he's clearly pulling from other inspiration. He's not just looking at other artists, or he's not just looking at military equipment. You know, he's looking at different. He's looking at different insects and different animals for inspiration. Very cool. So I've got my own comic, which I have in the description below. I also have links to this guy's social media, or whatever links I can find on him. I'll put it in the description box, so you can find that there, and then you can also find my own comic in the description below. It's a free 50-page comic that you can download, and it's a sci-fi horror comic, so if you're into that, feel free to check it out. Anyways, guys, I'll have another video up tomorrow looking at other comic book artists. Feel free to drop a comment, like, and subscribe, and thanks, guys. Take it easy.